Welcome, welcome, welcome. Boom. It is Thursday night. The week is almost over. What have you done today? What have you done today? I sound like a really bad fucking announcer. Oh, just got demonetized. I throw out the F word. How we doing? How is everyone doing? I hope we're doing well. I hope everyone's having a good time. I'm trying to get my thing up so I can see if anyone chatted beforehand, because sometimes that does happen. And welcome to Thursday. Chambray, welcome. Ivy, how are you? Okay, so let's get on this puppy. So it's Thursday night. It's almost the weekend. How much are we going to do tomorrow? Maybe take tomorrow off and then hammer a little harder on the weekend? Well, that's weird that it's no. Oh, there it is. Okay. Boom, Nancy. I love it. That's awesome. Were you waiting to tell me? Boom. Were you waiting to tell me? I am so funny that I think I was waiting for you to call me. Claudine, how are you? Ben, what's going on? Nancy, congratulations. Boom. That's awesome. That is so awesome that you passed. I think I knew you were ready, and we just had to make sure that you got through it. That's awesome. I love it, love it, love it. And you're done. You get to get off. You get to unsubscribe. You get to go get on with your life. I am so happy for you. There's nothing better than somebody coming on and tell me how it was. So all I ask is there any boom, are there any surprises, Nancy? Anything on there that, like, I don't need to look? We know what's on the exam. We know what's always going to be on there. Was there anything on there that like shocked you? Like, oh my god, I can't believe that was on there. Okay, while you're thinking about that, let's discuss a couple of things. There are so many free resources out there. So if you look up on Facebook, there is a group called FINRA Exam Prep. That's it, FINRA Exam Prep. Nothing else. It doesn't name it. I cover all FINRA exams on there. Just join it. We have basically 4,000 people. It goes up and down. It goes over 4, then under. Boom. Okay. And then, oh, Lori, that's awesome. I love that. That's awesome. You went through the SAE program and the 7 program at Edward Jones and us. That's awesome. Look at that. 2 passes. That's awesome. So I love that. I can't say the word awesome enough. I sound like I'm in the 1980s. I just don't have any hair to match up with what I used to have when in the 80s. Okay. Boom. King Lulu. Awesome. You're going to nail it. Thursday next. Obviously not today. Next Thursday. So we got Nancy done. We got Lori done. King Lulu is going to nail it next week. I'm so happy. Remember, there are free resources. There is Series 65, 66 exam prep. That's one. The other one is my FINRA exam prep. It just says FINRA exam prep. Doesn't say anything else. Go give that a join. It's going to help you out because there's such a great group in there. They're all good. Now, moving on from that, if you want to check out some free resources, right? They got Brandon Rith over Basic Wisdom. You got Notman doing stuff, and you have Susie Rhodes over Past Masters dropping stuff out. Okay. There we go. I have my podcast, which is doing really well. It's serious. It's called Blue Collar Finance. I couldn't even tell you how many people are watching it. Not watching. They're listening. Okay. I have the SIE versions. I have the 7 stuff, and I have there's some other stuff on there that just really just mucks up the whole thing. Okay. So no, Taylor, don't. Okay. Edward Jones has a Zoom call. Well, I helped him out since the summer. It's 2 p.m. every Tuesday I do with them. They got me in there. And here's my thing on that. Since I ref lacrosse starting in 3 days, I told them I'm going to take a month off. I'm probably going to go back in May or something like that. Who knows? Okay. It's a fun group. We are good. They a lot. I mean, it started with like must have been 40 or 50 people in there. Now it's down to like 10 because some new people come in, but a very small group now because everyone passed and they're on to the 7, and they want me to jump in and try to help out with the 7 a little bit. So we're going to figure something out, but after lacrosse season, which is about March and April are my busy months. Okay. That's what I'm just like every Monday, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning, I'm running around like an idiot. I think that works. Okay. So now, Ben Babcock. Okay, so if you're running out of content, here's the thing, and I'll get to the one person who said they're worried about stuff. Taylor, focus on this. Either go buy the Kaplan Q Bank or go buy Achievable stuff. Either one is fine. The Kaplan Q Bank's like $50. If you find Michael Weiss on the FINRA exam group, he'll give you a discount code. Then we have Or you can go to Achievable, and I have a link on the FINRA exam group also, and you get a 10% discount if you use the code. That's really good stuff. You'll get new questions, and that will help. I promise you, it'll help. Just get another vendor. If you're using all the STC content, and you still have 8-10 days to go, I would probably cap on, if you either get Kappa now or don't bother, because it's hard. They're complicated. They're convoluted questions sometimes. Like, they don't replicate. Here's a good thing. If you do the Kappa stuff, they don't look like the exam. There's always a couple, but they don't look like the exam. They're much more complicated than the exam does. But just that's going to help. That'll help you if you get them. It'll challenge you. Or get the Achievable ones. They're pretty awesome. You should be, if you look in any one of my videos, I have a link for that too. Okay. And since you have Kappa, the only reason I wouldn't say use Notman is because you already have the Kappa, because you have to buy the whole program. Like, if you were starting out, I'd say definitely try Notman. They're good. Okay. Now, okay, do not talk to other people. She could have been memorizing answers. Remember that. You don't know other people's routes. Okay, that's the thing. Just because you're high 80s in Kaplan and you might be memorizing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. For pretty much, if you're 10 days out, you test once a day. And then you just review everything wrong, and you have to remember you have to review all right and wrong answers. Okay. Taylor, don't sweat what other people do. You can't compare yourself to other people. That's the thing. Comparing yourself to other people is always a mistake. Okay. You don't want to do that. You want to sit there. You want to make sure that that you're doing it your way. And you never know. They could have been memorizing questions. They could have just taken a million questions and just figured out the game a little bit. So that happens. It's called question bias, right? Where you're starting to learn how they do the questions, and it's not super indicative of where where you are. So don't sweat that too much. Hope you all saw my video a little bit on what happened yesterday, right? So, I mean, think about this. So Janet Yellen keeps going back and forth. She's saying she wants to guarantee all deposits, which would help the banking industry. Then she comes back later and says, well, we never really considered it. And now she's trying to say she might do it again. But the thing is, she's not legally allowed to, right? So not her, the government, they're not legally allowed to do that. But unless an act of Congress comes in. Aiden, how are you? Okay. So there you go with that. So now let's talk about something. Say you miss the exam. Say you get a 62 or 63. I talk about this all the time. What should you do? Okay. What should you do if you, Aiden, I love it. Did you just take the test? I can't remember. Or are you taking it soon? Okay. Okay. Now, boom, boom. Okay. Now, I think 2 people just joined the Facebook group, and I think I just let you in if it was you guys. So if you guys have questions, pop them in here. We got this. We're here for the SIE, the Series 6, the Series 7, the 910 if you have a question, the 24 if you need it, 65, 66, 63, all those exams. 79 I can do. I just need a little heads up before you do that shit. Hope everyone's doing well. That's what's going on with what's going on. And let's go back to Aiden. Got it. Hold on, Aiden. I'll hand you in a second. Rose nailed it. Okay. I like Alan. I like them a lot. Okay, I think they teach it really well. So Rose, that's awesome. How was it? Here's what I tell everyone. I don't want to know what's on the exam. I want to know if anything surprised you. So at least, Nancy, if you saw anything that surprised you, pop it on here, unless you're off already. Rose, tell me if anything surprised you. I don't need to know what's on it. We all know what's on the exams, right? We know what's going to be on there. It's the surprise. Now, I'll get back to Aiden in a second. So, yeah, I like Achievable. What I try to tell people to do, I like multiple vendors. So I say, buy the Achievable program and then buy the Cap and Q Bank, right? Okay, do that. Or that's what I say to do. If you're gonna go with Achievable, Dion, hit me up. Sometimes I don't always get Ryan. How are you? Okay, so always go to always use always IV. There you are. You were the first one on here. Okay, so now where are we? There we go. Boom. Now, boom, Ben. We got it. We're gonna nail this thing. You can listen to while you're walking. It's a lot of the same stuff, but it's easier to find sometimes. April Fool's Day, Kimberly. That's awesome. You're gonna nail it, right? I know you are. I know you're gonna nail this thing. So, Alan, yeah, I would get Achievable, and then I would go get the Cap and Q Bank as a supplement. I'm a big fan. I'm always a big fan of using multiple supplements. Like if you buy Notman, who I like, I have links for them. If you buy Notman marks, I would say go get the achievable questions or go to STC or something like that. Always get a second, like you don't need to buy the whole vendor, but buy their questions if you can. Okay. Hope that's working. There we go. Okay. Now, any questions? Or are we just gonna have a chat? Okay. Dion, hit me up with a question. I hope I can answer it. I'm taking a risk because I might get it wrong. Okay. And Kimberly's taking it on the 1st, April 1st. Boom. Okay. Somebody just posted XYZ. Boom. There we go. Okay. Okay. You bought the bank. I like it. Okay. So now look, it's not, you remember, it's you this is my thing with these exams. Stop trying to memorize. Okay. If you're trying to memorize, it'll take you forever, right? Try to understand. If you understand what they're saying, you're gonna be fine. This is not a gotcha test. Okay. That's the thing. It's not a date test. Make it very clear. I do really well on these exams, like ridiculous, like bad. Okay. Really, really high. Okay. If they were like, how many dates for this, how many dates for that, I'd be dead. Absolutely fucking dead. I would never pass these things. But because they don't do that, and they just want to make sure you understand the concepts, you'll do well. So that's the thing. XYZ 1 2 3 exclamation point. Sounds like my password. I would say focus on understanding the concepts. Because look, if I give you words are you have to memorize. They're hard to memorize. Things are easy to remember. Okay. So because if I teach you words and stuff like that, it's just memorization, and you're going to get hurt. And that's the other thing. The questions are legitimately hard enough that if you're trying to memorize buzzwords, they will get you. Okay. That's where they get you. If you know your stuff, you're not going to get tricked. But if you learn certain buzzwords like, oh, this means that means this, you might have a tougher time. That's all. Okay. It really is the way it goes, is that these exams are written to make you feel like you're failing because you have to come up with like the best answer, not the right answer. So that's where we run into a little bit of trouble, okay? Because people try to memorize questions a lot as much as they can. And the biggest thing is which vendor looks the most like the exam, okay? Um, I was reading the question from Dion for a second. So, oh, I forgot what I was saying. So I'll just come back to it later. Sure, okay. Jane, are you taking the 7, not this okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Ben, of course you can. Of course you can fucking you can a lot of people pass it. Okay, good. Oh, look. Well, all of a sudden, yeah, don't sweat the I'll talk about CAPM, but it's not that big on this test. Okay. Let me go back up. Okay. Dion. Okay, let me go to this. Okay. Kimberly. Oh yeah, we're gonna get this April 1st. You're nailing it. Okay. An agent of BD hired 2 new hires with no experience. Would the administrator deny the new hire? No. That's that what that question is saying? Okay. Dion, yes. So the first question is no, you cannot be denied for lack of experience. Okay. You cannot be denied for lack of experience. You can be denied because you didn't pass the exam yet. So you can be denied for lack of knowledge or supervision, or like if you're a criminal, stuff like that. But you cannot be denied for lack of experience, or no one could ever register. Okay, good. Okay. Let me jump on this. Look, CAPM for the 7, look, for the Series 7, CAPM is very simple. It is basically looking for an expected return based on risk, okay? It's all about, are you getting enough reward for the risk you're taking, which is a Sharpe ratio. CAPM is a measurement of risk and reward. That's what CAPM is. That's what you need to know. It's not deeper than that, okay? That's the thing. Everyone thinks it's deeper than it is, and it's a lot of math, and it's not in these exams. You just have to understand that it's all about measuring the risk. And like, if you want equity like returns, you have to take equity like risk. You cannot get equity like returns and take no risk. So if you want more returns, you need more risk. As opposed to modern portfolio theory, is where they believe that diversification is the key to optimizing your portfolio for a given level of risk. You have risk here, you're going to optimize your portfolio to find the best return. And what you're going to try to do is get rid of the non-systematic risk. By diversifying, you're going to change, you're going to hopefully increase your return without really increasing your risk so much. Okay. Hardly at all. Very little, but more. A good mix. Like, if anything, I'd say probably leans more fundamental, but not really a thing. Okay. Yeah, they do. You don't need to know the different ones. You have to know that what the whole thing with so inflation and recession are not the same thing. So we have expansion versus recession, right? So during expansion, we have more inflation, we have a higher GDP, it's going up, we have less unemployment and more employment, stuff like that. So and we have the risk of inflation, so that's why they tighten. Now, like right now, I mean, if Jerome Powell stopped yesterday, said they're going to probably maybe one more stop or whatever. But the point is, GDP is a measure of what the company produces and is built in the US. And if that's rising, 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 we think we're going to have more inflation. So they try to tighten it down. Okay. That's an SIE question for sure. Okay. Some version of that. You do not need to know every little thing. So there's three levels of what do they call it? Economic indicators. There's leading, lagging, and coincident. You will not have to memorize all fucking 36. You will not, I promise you. You need to know what leading means. And the big one for leading is a couple of them. The stock market. I have a cough button. So now, the S&P 500 is a leading indicator. It's a great one. Like I always explain it. Yeah, I can do that. I used the whole thing in 2020. I mean, the world was ending, right? Granted, to be fair, New York City was. It sounds insensitive to say because a lot of people are dying, but New York City was fucking amazing at that time because there was nobody there. Young OG. Okay, so now, I don't even know how I got there. So the economy was hard. I mean, everyone was going bad. We were shut down, blah, blah, blah. But what was happening? The stock market was ripping. Why? Because it predicts the future. It doesn't predict now, it predicts the future. Okay. It predicts what's going to happen in 6 to 12 months. So that's a leading indicator. Housing starts, right? Housing permits, those are leading indicators. Why? Why? Okay. Because Nancy's on here. Maybe she can help you. Okay. So now, yeah, young OG nailed all of them. She nailed all her exams. I think you had to take 4 of them, right? Which is crazy. Um, Young OG, do you take the 7 or the 6? Because Rose just asked what to focus on. I want to do that, but I want to hear what other people have to say too. So leading indicators, housing permits, because builders are not going to start asking for permits or start houses unless they know they can sell them. So it's going to be much more. They're going to be advanced. So leading indicator tells us where we're going. Okay. Coincident tells us where we are right now. Okay. And lagging tells us where we were. Like that's corporate profits and stuff like that. That's what you need to know. Don't worry about this stuff. And again, so contraction, some people call it contraction recession, but it's still a contraction is a contraction where the economy is getting worse. Okay, GDP is dropping. If you see 2 negative GDP numbers, then that's a recession. If you see 6 negative GDP numbers, that's quarterly, 6 quarters of it, that's a depression. Okay. Don't worry about too much on that. Okay. Again, guys, these are not freaking math tests. There's very few of these. There will be some formulas on the 7, not a lot. You could literally go, I'm noping on all the formulas and probably still get them in 80. Okay. Okay. 3 tests a day. What the fuck tests are you taking? So if you're taking the 7, how are you going to take, that's 3, what is that? That's 450 questions a day? No, 2 max, 1 preferable. But if you need to take 2, take 2. But you got to take breaks in between them. 3 is way too much. There's no way the third gives you any value at all. If you take 3 tests a day, the third one's going to be ass. It's going to be horrible. Okay. And again, I don't know who's talking to you, Ben. Maybe that's why nobody passes on the first exam, because they're taking 3 exams a day. Ben, relax. Goose fraba, baby. Goose fraba. Sing I Feel Pretty, right? Like a little Adam Sandler here, okay? Just relax, kid. Okay. Yeah, you're not doing 3 exams is overstudy. If you do 1 to 2 a day and review the shit, you'll be fine. Okay. So here's the thing. Yes, if you get referral fees, you need to be registered. Okay. Now here's the thing. This is the one thing that's kind of iffy. If you can actually get paid for the names. Okay. So if I just give you a list of names, okay, if I just give you a list of names and you pay me for the names, no matter what, that's fine. But if I refer them to you and you're paying me for it, I better definitely be registered. Just get the 65. That's all I got to do. Okay. Now, I agree, Aiden. Read the book instead of taking a third. That's true. If you have an hour and a half, if you have a free 2 hours at the end of doing 2 tests, jump on the book or videos. Okay. Jane, your question's next. Okay. Okay, so XYZ. Obviously, here's the thing. I can tell by your questions, you're very worried about numbers. Okay, it's my feel. Okay, do not sweat this. I am the most math challenged person in the world. Literally, I will post on things that I fucking hate. Jane, do me a favor. Wait till I answer the one question to answer the next one. I'm happy to answer as many questions as we got, but wait till I get the one, and then I'll do the next one. But leave that up there. We got this. Okay, don't take it away. Okay, now. Because it used to be what happens is I'd end up forgetting questions. So if I limit you to one question till I get yours done, it keeps it sort of organized. Now, fundamental versus technical. Fundamental is obviously all the balance sheet stuff. That's PE ratio, earnings per share. Don't worry about that too much. You might have to do one PE ratio, one earnings per share question, maybe. Technical, you just have to recognize this shit like support, resistance, overbought, oversold, stuff like that. You have to know the difference between them for the most part. Again, do not sweat the numbers. This is not a numbers test. I am telling you, I'm the most math challenged person in the world. Okay, not the most, but I'm pretty fucking bad at math. Okay. Rule 147. Okay. Rule 147. Okay. So if we're going to issue shares in one state, okay, if we're going to issue shares in one state only, and if you're taking the 63 or 65, that's called qualification. You're registering in one state only, which means you're not subject to SEC registration, other than anti-fraud, because anti-fraud, you're always under the gun. So if yeah, that's the thing. No, I'm telling you right now, I'm hearing a lot of people get option questions. Seriously. So now it shows up quite often. So now, if I'm going to issue shares in one state, Rule 147 says that you don't have to register with the SEC as long as you have at least one of the three things. I call it the 80-80-80 rep. 80% of the revenues, 80% of the assets, 80% of the proceeds are spent in the state. That's the rule on that, okay? Not 90%, 80%, 80%, 80%, 80%. Now, 147A allows offerings outside the state, but sales only within. That means even if you can talk to someone outside the state, but they have to be in the state when they buy it. That's what you have to remember, okay? So 147 and 147A are all about in-state offerings. Now, if you buy shares of a 147, you can sell it anytime you want back in the state, okay? If somebody's going to buy the 147 shares in the state, like say Vermont, they can sell it to other Vermonters, Vermontaniers, whatever you want to call them, anytime they want. But if they want to sell, Marcus, thank you. If they want to sell them outside the state, they have to wait 6 months, okay? By the way, how can I be the goat if you're the goat, my man? Okay, so now, if you want to sell the shares outside the state, you have to wait 6 months. If you want to sell it inside the state, so whenever you want. That's 147. So this is the way I always remember it. Ben and Jerry's did this, okay? When they first went public, they were only in Vermont. That's why I always use Vermont. They were in Vermont only. And what's the thing about Ben and Jerry's? They have 147 flavors. So I always remember, Rule 147 is for in-state because Ben and Jerry's has 147 flavors. One state on this, or one state on, okay. Yes, XYZ, 100%. I'm telling you right now, it sounds like you have past perfect, which really convolutes it. Okay, what to focus on the 6, okay? Oh, hold on. Moist cow, I will get to you. Hold on. Most for the 6, okay? So you have to make sure you know mutual funds. It sounds stupid. Mutual funds, annuities, communications, suitability, and taxes. And always do customer count. So I'll do it again. And sadly, what you focus on is literally the whole book. But it's communications, mutual funds, annuities, taxes, and suitability, and customer accounts. Those are the ones, okay? That's what you need on Rose, okay? But enjoy the SIE. If you passed it today or maybe yesterday, take a day, revel in the win. Start up on Saturday. And what's the first thing you need to do, Rose, is read the damn book, okay? XYZ. I have a whole playlist for what to focus on. So hold on, I'll get on there. The difference is the 7, you have to focus on a lot of shit. How far along in your studying are you? Because if you're just in the beginning, I'm not giving you that. You have to do it. How far along are you? Are you taking it like tomorrow, next week? Okay. Okay. So XYZ. Here's the deal on this, and you'll learn my style. I'm kind of a dick. Okay. So now you have to learn my. Okay. Okay. 11 days away. So you got to focus on everything, but the biggest three things. Right? So here's the thing. Obviously, options. Okay. Boom. Oh, Chris, I'll be on there in a second. So okay. Now CFA path. Here's that thing, Chris. You can also, if you're not with a firm yet, take the 63 and 65. Or I would say take the 63, 65 combo. Boom. Okay, let me hold on. Let me finish with XYZ. So mutual funds, obviously, same stuff as before, but really make sure you get the investment company stuff down. Make sure you have customer counts down. Make sure you have options down, debt, and suitability. And then taxes are not that complicated. I have a video on that, but you have to understand the tax consequences of everything. Okay. You have to understand the tax consequences of everything. That's really important. Hold on, let me jump down for a second. Dion, I'll get you. There's no fucking days on that. It doesn't matter. It's as long as they're temporary residency. Chris, that's awesome. So I'm saying if you want to get the 63, 65. The reason I say get the 63, 65 instead of the 66 is that there are some states that won't take the 66. Say you hook up with an investment advisory firm. You'll have to retake the 65. Okay. That's the problem. Okay. Oh, where's Moist Cow? I feel bad. Where is Moist Cow? I know I saw you. Maybe I missed it. Hold on. Where the hell are you? There we go. Boom. Love it. And that's what I'm saying, Chris. Just work on the 63, 65. Because if you have that and you work for an IA, then you don't need the 7, and then you're fine. But if you take the 66 and then you work for an advisory firm, then you have to retake the 65. Moist Cow, what a great name, and congratulations. Okay. The only problem with that name is it conjures up like bad things, right? Where men are men and the sheep are scared kind of thing. But it's okay. Maybe just me getting milk. I got it. Okay. Boom. Love it. Okay. Now, let me go back to this. I answered that already, and you refer. Okay. We got that one already. So let's talk about formulas a little bit, okay? Don't First of all, we know you need all the options formulas. That's it, okay? Now, get the concept on PE. Get the concept on earnings per share. You want current ratio? Do that. Don't kill yourself with all the formulas. You may want to know dividend payout ratio, which is what? It's how much you pay in dividends versus how much we earned, which is versus earnings per share, okay? That's one thing, okay? You're gonna need to know tax equivalent yield, not crazy convoluted crap shit. Just understand it, and you may have to do a math problem. You may have to do stock splits. You're gonna have to do stock splits. You're gonna have to do again current yields. You're gonna have to do for sure at least a couple of times. Going through my head again. Current yield is a lot, right? You're gonna do that. Options. Oh, margin is not that heavy, but you have to do margin, options, uh, stock splits, convertible bonds, PE ratio, earnings per share, stuff like that. Again, not a million of them, but those, if you miss them all, then you're going to have a problem. But they're very straightforward. They're not this super convoluted. Remember, there's always going to be a couple convoluted questions. Everyone gets a couple of them, but the majority will not be. Okay. Ben, okay. So again, I like the 7 first because you take. Oh, you took the 65. Yeah, if you took the 65 Moist Cow, I would say. Oh no, AE, right? Okay. I think that was Moist Cow. Sorry, because it disappeared. Okay. Um. Yeah, I can work on that. Okay, so the closing price doesn't matter, but I think. Oh, you gave me an option question too. Oh, we're getting to it. Okay. 2 weeks before, 2 weekends. We said it. 1 to 2 tests a day. Make sure you read. And I tell everyone. I can't say this enough. And I think in my pre-video for this, I say to everyone, you have to, must read customer accounts the day before the morning of. Good. Okay. Okay. Here we go. What is that? A 50-cent loss? But let me see. Oh, 50-cent gain. Let me see. Hold on. If I'm always afraid this is going to shut my fucking computer down. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let me write it out first and then I'll share screen. So what do we got? We have sell 1, June, 25 put, $1.50. All right, I'm going to put it in here in a second. I just want to get it up. And it went to 24. Let me make them bigger so you can see them. Okay, and then I'll share so then you can really see them. Okay, I got to separate it. Okay. Everyone should be able to see my screen. Sell at June 25, put at 150, and it goes to 24. Okay, super easy. What's my break even? Well, my break even is going to be strike minus premium, right? So I'm going to do 25 minus $1.50. That's 23.50. Right? So that's it. So 23.50 is my break even. That's my zero. That's where I make no money. Okay. Now, am I bullish or bearish? Well, I am freaking bullish because you sell, you put your bullish. So I'm going to put arrows. I'll have to draw it. I'm bullish. So everything above 23.50 is everything above 23.50 is a gain. Everything below 23.50 is a loss. So I am boom. Am I bullish? I'm bullish. And so how much above it? It's 50 cents above it. So that's a $50 gain. If it was at 23, it'd be a 50-cent loss or $50 loss. If it was 26 or 25, it'd be a $1.50 gain. So all you do is find the break even and place a stock near it. Okay. If you want to see more of that, and the way I do my options, because I don't use this damn T-charts, I use a different way. I use my own way. Go join my options only membership. It's easy. It's $20. Or if you want to do the full boat, $50 a month. You do the options video, the options class at 8 p.m. You also get to see my options videos. You have access to them. And we have the Series 7 Zoom class every Sunday. So every Sunday we do a Series 7 Zoom class. And then we also do the options class right after. So for $50 a month, you get all of it. If you want to spend 25, you get the Zoom class plus the options. And we do a 65 one, same cost. We do a Series 65 one for $25 also. $25 a month. It's a freaking bargain. Okay. Okay, good. Right? You got to use the break even. There you go. Okay. Okay. But the option should be easy. It's at 7 p.m. XYZ, it's at 7 p.m. and then the options runs right after it. 7 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. Right. See, so I did that. So even in the football season, I didn't miss much of a game. And I'm a Jet fan. So normally we play at 1, or we used to. Now it changes all the time. Okay. And that's the thing. So if you want to join the membership, I got that. Join it. The low one is $6. You get to see the review of the membership classes, not options. $20, you get the options videos, which are fucking game changing. Then we have $25. And remember, any level you're up, you go down. Okay. The Ivy's in there. She's great. Then there's a $25 one, which is the groups and the options and the membership videos. And then the big dog is the $50 one. You get the options class every Sunday night. And it's big enough now that I think I got to split it into basics and advanced. This is all predicated that I don't die. Yeah, I know. Favre Jr. It's kind of crazy that if we get Aaron Rodgers, it's worth doing, but not giving up a lot of picks, right? Yeah, and then the $50 you get the options class plus the Zoom class plus the options videos plus the membership replays. Okay, because when you move up, you get all the shit below it. Okay. Yeah, I think it is. For $50, you're gonna pay $25. You're gonna pay $25 for 4 classes, 2 Series 7 and two option classes. I mean, what does it work out to be? $12 a class. We're gonna get a bargain like that. Okay. I know they're gonna make us pay for them, but we're gonna figure it out. Okay. Yes, Aiden, you're still. I don't know if you're still on here, but boom, yes, you got to take it like a chat. You got to take it like a savage, or a bad bitch. That's what we have to do. We have to take it like a bad bitch or a savage. Just go in there, own it, take the questions, pick a question, move on. Don't think about it. Boom. Okay. Absolutely, 100%. If you understand if past perfect and Kaplan go a little more complicated. Rob in the state. I got it. Okay. Rob in the state. That's not Rob in the state. It's Rob in the state. I'm sure. Okay. So now, um, Rob in the state. So it's all about the why. It's much more about the why. Why. Okay. Margin. Everyone freaks about margin and it's barely tested. Barely freaking tested. Okay, Savannah. Let me get to you. Okay. So I'm only 10 minutes behind. Okay. Boom. Okay. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Love it. So you're doing that's awesome. I love it. That's awesome. It's amazing how there you go. Funny. Very funny. So no, it's not on the website. It's on my YouTube. It's on my YouTube. Okay. Chris, go enjoy it, my man. Savannah, that's awesome. It's great to do the trade. Once you do your first trade, you're so happy, right? It's amazing how great it is. Like when I was on the floor, once we did our first big trade, they cut our tie off. She always knew to have some crappy ties around. Okay. So here's the deal on the snowbird. The actual ruling says temporary residency. Boom. I'm glad, Robin. That's awesome. Rob. I'm going to say Rob. I'm glad. I'm glad they help because I do think they help. I do think my videos on that stuff are pretty good. Okay. My one preferred video, my brother said it's kind of crazy because I did the whole thing while walking in the park. Okay. Like walking my dog. I think I did the whole video just talking from memory. It was kind of insane. But it's like all fucking stuck in my head. I got to get it out. Okay. Okay. The snowbird exemption. That just means there's no time limit. Well, there sort of is, like 180 days. The snowbird exemption, as long as they don't move, as long as they have temporary residency in the state, they do not have to register. Okay, because there's no restrictions on how many days it is. It's pretty much going to be as long as they're temporary residency or visiting, you don't have to worry about it. They're not going to say 61 days or 50. They're not doing that shit. Okay, that's all it is. If they're going to say they live there or they don't live there. That's where it is. Okay. You don't want to be sponsored, okay? Um, well, that's the thing is you're gonna have to be. You don't have to be sponsored. You can take the 65, but then you can create your own IA. You can either work for an investment advisor or create your own. Those are options, okay? Yeah, maybe you can work for a hedge fund or something, but those are your options. Either work for an IA, either you work for an IA, or you create your own. Those are your options, AI world. That's it. If you don't want to be sponsored, that's you have no other choices. You have to be registered somehow. Okay. I don't think it matters so much. AE, if you took the 65 already, then obviously take the 7. But most people take the 7 first, get this, and then the 63 becomes an easier test. They get the hard one out of the way and then do that. Okay. Annual dividend price to earnings 20. Oh, got it. Yeah, I see what you need. I see what it is. Okay. Let me do this one. They try to trick you. Okay. So I'm going to write it in and then I'll fill it out. God, I'm dying. It's just freaking 9/11 cough. Okay, so now we have a dividend, and I'll share a dividend of $2. Then we have a PE ratio of 20, and the common is at 100. And you think, wow, I can't figure it out. Hold on, let me share. So here we go. So we have a dividend. Let me make everything bigger. So we have a dividend of 2, a PE ratio of 20, and a common of $100. So this is not so bad. So what we do is you have to remember because dividend payout ratio is what you pay out of what you earn. So we have to figure that out. XYZ, thank you very much. Awesome. I appreciate it. You're going to love it. And remember, guys, anyone you join the membership, you're not going to get an email. You need to put on So everyone, first, put on notifications, hit the little bell so you get notifications. So all my great, wonderful videos go out. And 2, hit a like. But if you don't do that, that's fine. So now, boom. Okay, now, Really? Take broccoli? I'll try it. If I can eat fucking broccoli. If I could eat broccoli, I wouldn't be this fat. I am literally an anti. I can't eat anything green. Look, I mean, this is what I'm doing. I'm literally eating these. Oh, you can't see. I'll show you when I'm done. Okay. Balance in nature, fruit and veggies, because I can't eat this stuff because I'm emotionally allergic. So now we have the screen here. We have to figure out what the earnings per share is because it's always dividend divided by earnings. So how do you do this? You're going to do remember the PE ratio is 20. You're going to do 100 divided by 20. That should give you a $5 earnings per share. Remember, because PE ratio is market price divided by yeah, I can't eat it. It just makes me gag. I literally throw up. I'm a child with this shit. Okay. So we're gonna have an earnings per share of $5. Okay. So why do we have an earnings per share of not 45, 5, Ken? Okay. Now, because PE ratio is market divided by earnings. So if you have a PE ratio of 20, 100 divided by 20 equals 5. So our earnings per share is 5. Okay. Wow, that's awesome. See, amazing. Getting that shit and getting all this shit ahead of time is big. So earnings per share is 5, and then our dividend is 2. So Jane Doe, divide 2 by 5 and tell me what you get. Why, yes, you get 40%. So the dividend payout ratio is 40% because it's 0.4. You divide the dividend by the earnings per share. Hope that helped. Again, to get the earnings per share, I did the common divided by the PE ratio. There you go. That's I get it on the other one. Okay. Let's see. Again, this thing, margin. Everyone thinks margin is so busy on the test. Kaplan's Past Perfect, they all go way too deep on it. STC is a little bit better. Achievable does some crazy shit on there too, and it's barely tested. That's my problem. Is a lot of these vendors they really go out of their way whenever it comes down to math. They go so heavy, it's just like ridiculous. Okay, okay. So Ben, it's on the YouTube. It's on the YouTube thing. It's on YouTube, not on hold on. Here we go. Oh, we gotta do it this way. Guys, talk to each other. It makes yourself feel better. Okay. They got Dion 60 number 60. The broker dealer doesn't update anything they can. They have to pay a fee every year. There it is. Membership. This should have it. Hold on. There we go. And if you can't find it, that should be the link to it. Okay. It should help you. Okay. That's a link to the membership, guys. Okay. So now. Good. I'm glad. I'm happy it helps. Okay. And Jane, did you get that the way I did that? Hope you understood the whole the dividend payout ratio. Yeah, I'll try to take some broccoli. No, it'll never happen. It'll never, ever, ever, ever happen in my life. Okay, ever. Okay, I'm telling you right now, getting these extra things, and that's why the FinPro Coalition, we did that letter. We wrote a letter to FINRA. Hopefully, we're going to put some pressure on them. And here's the thing: the bigger our membership rolls, the more powerful we are. Right? I think we have almost 1,000 people in there now. We just started a month ago, so it's good. You don't get any perks right now, but it's going to start putting news out and doing stuff like that. Not crazy news, just stuff that'll pertain to you. But remember, here's the thing about this coalition: if they have like 4 lawyers on there, I got me on there, a couple of people on the board, all willing to help. They'll actually have, if you call up and you need help with securities and securities question, like like the one girl we had last week, she hit me up on TikTok and said, I have a problem. I have a wrongful termination, blah blah blah. So I gave her the name of. I sent her in there, and they helped her out. They gave her 2 lawyers, got on the phone with her to explain to her what to do. They gave her a referral for a lawyer who would do it for them without charging a lot, and they got her a recruiter to help her find a new job. It's amazing, and all for free. It's crazy. All we're doing is trying to help give free stuff for everyone. So if you guys want to join the FinPro Coalition. There's no website. There's a website for it. That website, but it's not like you go internal yet. We're going to have a lot more stuff, and who knows? The whole point is to get it bigger so we can affect some change for the individuals and not just the firms. Okay. And again, the reason I'm saying the thing we wrote a letter to FINRA was requesting them to stop requiring sponsorship for the 7. There's a lot of reasons for that, right? So they do it, we get it. But I said, it's like, I even did a video on it, no gatekeeping. We don't need to, you don't really need to be sponsored to take the 7. You do now, but they should get rid of it. Oh, boom, Ben, you found it. We don't, we kind of don't need that, right? So you should let you, anytime you turn 18, let you take it. Maybe it lasts 4 years like the SIE. Maybe you have to do continuing ed, but it would save so much money. It would save stress. Imagine if you guys knew that while you took a job, before you started looking, you could go bang out the 7 and then look for a job then, knowing that that's not a barrier to entry. You know how many people that I've met with that they took a job in another industry and then they had to take the 7. They've already failed it twice. They're up on their 3rd one. I'm trying to help them in the last week, or they're crying and they were about their job. I mean, I get pretty much everyone to pass, but the point is, it's stressful on me. It's stressful on me, right? That's what matters, right? No, it's stressful for them that they changed industry, took a big chance, moved, and now they could lose their job because they can't pass the damn test. Okay. Oh, so Jane Doe, it's hard. It's not easy the way they did it, but just remember, it's dividend payout ratio. It's the dividend, what you pay in the dividend. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the way it's so stressful, right? So, and we'll get on there. Join that group. That group on Sunday night's a great group. Sometimes they start their own group and they do stuff on their own, which is great. On the other part of that, okay, is that so we have we pay the dividend divided by the earnings per share. But to get earnings per share, you remember earnings per share is earnings per share, right? But if they don't give it to you, remember PE ratio is earnings. It's market price divided by earnings. So if they say the market price is 100 and your PE ratio is 20, you're going to do 100 divided by 20, and that's going to give you 5, which is the earnings per share. Or the other way around is 5 times 20 is the market price. Okay. Okay, let's see. So here's the deal. A hedge fund is not a mutual fund. Okay. So mutual funds can't charge fees above 8.5%. Okay. Mutual funds can't charge sales charge above 8.5%. Hedge funds are not registered. They can kind of do what they want within reason. So they do the 2 and 20, where they charge 2% of the assets and 20% of the gains. And that's called the carry. And that's a big fight because it's considered capital gains. It's taxed at a much better rate than ordinary income. Okay. So hedge funds are unregistered pooled investments. Okay. They're not mutual funds. In a way, they act like them a little bit because they're a pooled investment and you're buying into it. But hedge funds are unregistered. They have they charge a 2% annual fee and a 20% carry, or 20% of the performance. That's why it's called 2 and 20. And they're not registered. That's the thing. They're totally different things. Because mutual funds have sales charges, hedge funds have their other charges. So it has nothing to do with them. They're not regulated. They're not registered with anyone. They're usually done as a private placement too. Okay. I got through all of the questions. Doesn't mean I get out of here early. Do I get out at 9:17? Is that what happens? Do I get to leave early? Thursday nights are always weird, right? Thursday nights, my Tuesday night one is usually pretty busy. Okay. Good. Oh, I'm glad. It's what I try to do. I try to make sense of shit, right? Here's the problem with the books, right? So a lot of places, the books are pretty good, but they're kind of scattered and they have to cover everything, and they have to explain it in a certain way. So I know I can just do it simply because like I said, I'm a dumbass, right? I'm a dumbass, and I like everything on a very, very basic level. So that's why I'm good at these tests, because they're not simple, they're not easy. I mean, they're simple, they're basic, but they're not easy. Okay. So that works with what I do. I'm a good test taker. I'm not a smart guy. I'm just a good test taker. So a couple of things about test taking, right? So, if you've heard me at all more than once or twice, I'm a big fan of studying in the morning. And when I mean study in the morning, I mean do not do it at night. Just before you go to work, if you have to be work at 9 and you have a half-hour commute, study from 6:30 to 8:30. But then don't do anything at night. If you want to watch a video or something, like one of my videos, I'm kidding. But if you want to watch a video or something, boom, See you next Tuesday, Aiden. Okay, I got you. Boom, go get some sleep. Okay, so now, again, morning studying is the big one. Okay, you got to study in the morning. I just think it helps. Another thing you want to do is focus on reading, not testing. Right now, when you're in the last 8 to 10 days, yeah, you got to take a lot of tests. But up until then, you want to do more reading than testing. And here's the thing I tell everyone: if you take the exam and you get like a 60 or a 62 or a 65, and you go, oh, and again, a guy on Reddit, I just decided not to argue with. I was just like, whatever. The person taking the test understood it, but somebody else put in their own shit. And they're like, no, no, you should only read the stuff your weekend. Let me explain to you. If you get a 65 on the exam, yeah, that's close enough, right? But here's my thing on this. If you try to say, oh, I'm just going to work on the stuff I'm bad at, what's going to happen is the stuff you were weak on will get better, and the stuff you were good on will get weak because 30 days is a long time, okay? Now, so here's my thing on this, and I keep saying that. To get from 0 to 60 on the Series 7 is one level of hardness, okay? Whatever it is, call it 1, okay? To get from 60 to 72 is a 3. It is, you ask as many questions you want, okay? Yeah, a warrant, yeah, because you have to buy the shares. If you get warrants, a gift. I guess the gift would still be, right? So because you still have to buy the shares to benefit from it. So I would say yes if they exercise it. I would say yes on the warrant one. But and I could see the whole thing. Well, it's a gift, and you don't have to pay for it if you exercise. If you just sell it, you won't have to. But I think rights and warrants are the boom. Okay, Daryl, that's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, they're super stressful. So that's why I try to curse. My mom. I was talking to my mom last night on the phone, and she's like, you curse a lot. She actually, what's funny? She actually, for one of my videos, she finally watched it. She goes, "Oh, the Social Security one." So we had a conversation about how her taxes on the Social Security work. Okay, it's very funny because I did one explaining because I had somebody ask how the taxes on Social Security work, so I explained it. But anyway, back to this. To get from 65 to 72 or 73 is as hard to get from 65 to 72 as it is to get from 0 to 65. I'm telling you. So if you get a 60 on the exam or you get yourself where you're almost passing, it takes just as much work, maybe not as long as time, just as much work to get from 65 to 72 as it does to get from 0 to 65. If you got like a 71, that's a little different, okay? Yeah. Boom. Exactly. Exactly. She got my own advice. It's great. I'm saying I love it. That's pretty funny. Because she was my now remember, I have stuff on it. She doesn't do the YouTube stuff, but she sees my Instagram stuff, which is funny. So and that's the thing too. If you guys want to check out my Instagram, I'm almost at 1,000 followers. It's slow. I'm not there's no traffic there on me. But I do all my shorter videos and I put a lot of this stuff on there, the shorter stuff. I have like she watches that. I have like 987 viewers, and that's Series 7 Whisperer. So if you want to check me out on TikTok, on Blue Collar Finance. On my podcast, which I think is awesome, is Blue Collar Finance. On my Instagram, it's Series 7 Whisperer. Okay, and then here it says, dude, the Series 7 Whisperer, it's like, it just sounds, calling myself that would be just weird. Okay. I just like the name, it's kind of cool. So again, so for you to get from 65 to 72, you need to kind of go back to the beginnings and act like you're studying brand new. It will work, okay? If you do that, you will see great big strides, okay? And that's what I mean by working just as hard. Like, so you have 30, if you miss, you have 30 days to take it again, right? You have 30 days. So use the first 2 weeks to just read the book. You have all this time you have to wait. Use it, okay? Then the last week to 10 days, you just take a lot of tests. That will be what gets you over the top. Okay. Okay. Daryl, again, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Look, I'm just trying to have fun out here, right? So I've been doing this for I think over 3 years. I started before the podcast, right? I started a little bit before the podcast, and before the podcast, I started way before the podcast. I started right before the pandemic, and then I realized everyone's fucking home. I'm not trying to make connections with you or whatever it is. I'm just trying to help people out, right? So I'm trying to have a little fun at the same time. And this is what I say: when it's no longer fun, I take the shit down, I close it up, and I go home. That's what I do. So it's just a lot of fun. So I mean, I was originally I did one live a week, and then right when the pandemic hit, like really hard, and people were home, I said, okay, you know what? I'll do 2 times a week because I thought it was going to be 6 weeks. 3 weeks to stop the spread, 2 weeks to stop the spread, blah blah blah, and it just never ended, right? So literally like the movie The Stand, the book The Stand, just a little opposite. Um, and then I just kept doing it because I like it. These are literally my favorite times. These 2 nights are my favorite. They're the most stressful because I'm always wait. I always want to make sure that I don't, piss anyone off or say anything wrong because I can't take it back. I can't edit it out. And And sometimes people ask questions that I don't know, and that's the stressy part. But I do. This is my favorite time. It gets me up and running. Now I'll be up for 3 more hours, and I think I have 2 more students after this. Go from there. Okay, everyone, listen. I think we're good. I think we're calming down. If you have any last minute questions, throw them in now. If not, I'm heading out. I get to finish my pizza because God forbid I go to bed without having 9,000 slices of pizza. I think I answered everyone's questions. XYZ and Ben, I will see you on Sunday. If anyone wants to join that, that's great. Remember, don't forget don't forget on Facebook. If you have Facebook and you're not too cool for it, okay, go on Facebook. Okay, boom, there you go. Boom, it's always pepperoni. It's old world pepperoni. Okay, boom, yeah, we're gonna get it. XYZ, I promise, we're gonna nail it. So, young OG, thank you, Mary. I saw you join the Instagram thing. Guys, if you guys watch, tell me if you like the videos I do. Because if you don't like those up-to-date videos where I'm telling you what happened, let me know. If they're no good, tell me, and I'll just stop doing them. I know I won't. I don't care. I do them for myself. But tell me if you like them or not. Like them, don't like them, subscribe, don't whatever. Share them out if you think it's helping. Because I'm trying to do different things, have fun. I want to teach people stuff. Like I just got reached out to one of the college investment clubs wants me to fly down to Florida and teach a class on stuff like this. It's fun. I start in 2 weeks. Oh, boom! I appreciate it. In 2 weeks, I start teaching at a college, which is fun. And then I'm going to go down there. So let's see where this goes. Right? Okay. And look, I love that you guys are all with me on this. It's so much fun, and I'm trying to give you guys something to watch to stay on the channel. So if there's things, here's the thing: if you see something, okay, oh, it's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. So, young OG, you're famous. Hopefully they'll watch it and go, yeah, you're my favorite person. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, Mandy, right. Okay. Mandy Savage. That's it. By the way, greatest name ever, right? Okay, so now take it like a savage. So here's the thing. You got to read. So maybe if you took 2 weeks off, maybe go on and you can do quizzes still, but I would sit there and find the lowest sections and reread them. Maybe spend the next week just reading the book again. Going over that. Just spend the next week reading the book again one more time if you can. Maybe carve out some of the good stuff, like some of the the not important things. But read the book again and then spend 7 days taking tests. You'll feel better about it. You'll by taking the exam, by reading this stuff, you'll build up your knowledge. It really will help. So if you guys see something that you want me to explain that happened on TV, comment on my last video. I'll see it. And then I'll try to do a video on it. That's always a lot of fun because I have people giving me ideas all the time. I have 2 people one guy that gives me ideas is a lawyer, and another one, my friend Jeff, great guy. He's like a partner of mine. He throws ideas at me all the time, and sometimes I take them. Sometimes I love them, and I just don't get around to them. Anyway, everyone, be good, be happy, wash your hands. Thank you very much, and Ivy, everyone, you guys. I'll see you hopefully on Sunday night in the membership group. If not, join the FINRA exam group. It's literally called FINRA Exam Prep, nothing else. Boom, okay? And get on there and just post out. If you're looking for a study group, it's a great way to go. Also, I should have said this before. I tutor too, but I'm super busy. There's another guy, Michael Weiss. I talk about him all the time, Series 7 Exam Tutor. Series7examtutor.com. Go check him out. He has some good, he's really good, especially at the 65, 66, because he has a CFA. Okay? Everyone, y'all have a good night, and I am out. Go to get my pizza with pepperoni.